It's so funny, ah, ha, ha, I'm so funny, ah, ha, ha. Don't worry, I won't sing the whole song, and I think I started in a very high key. My goodness. A little bit of Adele's laughing song for you from Die Fledermaus, of course, in German. Well, there's a question for you. Will we be doing it in German or in English? More on that later. Hello, my self-isolated friends, and welcome to the High Notes, our weekly live stream featuring updates, interviews, and more from Opera Orlando. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Wow. Our audience just keeps growing and growing every week. Well, I'm your host, Gabriel Preisser, broadcasting live from my dining room. I know, very exciting. We've started these weekly live streams to keep in touch with you, our devoted fans and supporters. We miss seeing you guys and interacting in person, but we hope this serves as a way to keep in touch and rev up for Opera Orlando's 5th anniversary season. This live stream will be available on our Facebook page for a few days, and will also be available on our YouTube page, which I'm sure you have already subscribed to, right? Right? What? You haven't? Oh, shame. Shame on you. Wow. And those people do not sound happy. Wow. Well, make sure to take the plunge, check out our YouTube page, and subscribe if you like what you see. We'll have more videos posted up there soon as well. Today, we'll be talking about the first production of our upcoming 2020-21 season, Die Fledermaus, or The Revenge of the Bat. I know, it sounds scary, but it's actually a hilarious romp and a true musical extravaganza. Well, there's your invitation right there from Prince Orlovsky himself or herself, with Opera Orlando Company favorite Sarah Norden doing a little masquerading herself. Now, Orlovsky, which will be sung by Sarah, is a mezzo role, one of those pants roles, you know. Because of that, we thought we'd have some fun with our photo shoot for Fledermaus, and you may notice that Sarah was our model not just for Orlovsky, but also for Eisenstein. Well, there she is, looking very dapper. I mean, she kind of looks a little like me. Maybe I could do that role. I hope they hire me for that. I guess I gotta talk to the artistic director. And she was our model for Rosalinda. There she is again, looking beautiful. Now, she won't be singing all 3 roles in our production, although she probably could, knowing Sarah. You're probably wondering how we made all of that happen. Well, we have a little behind-the-scenes video to show you how it was done, and hopefully get you excited for Fledermaus next season. Roll that commercial. Wowee, I can't wait. Just like the photo shoot for Die Fledermaus, the show itself will be chock full of surprises, including special guest appearances, as is the tradition with this show. Speaking of guests... Oh, it sounds like somebody is calling in. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome our conductor for Die Fledermaus and a dear friend of Opera Orlando, Jorge Parodi. Wow. They really love you here, Jorge. There you are, my friend. You're looking good. How are you these days?
Very much well. Yeah, we are in New York. Doing well at home, as you can see.
Good.
Just hanging out in our safe and healthy apartment.
I'm so happy that you guys are safe and healthy. Those are the 2 most important things right now. But we wanted to talk a little bit about opera. And you know a lot about opera. I mean, just look at that hair. I mean, that is operatic hair. It's just gorgeous.
Thank you.
And we had you here last season to do Tales of Hoffmann with us, which was just a delight. And you've done opera really all over the world. I know you teach at Manhattan School of Music, at Juilliard. For those that might not know much about you, Jorge, share with our audience a little bit about your career thus far.
All right, so I'm from Argentina. You will hear the accent eventually. And I've been in the States for almost 20 years. And right now I live in New York. and I teach at Juilliard, and I am the music director of the Senior Opera Theater at the Manhattan School of Music.
Wow.
And I do freelancing, conducting quite a bit in the States and abroad. Recently, I conducted at the Atlanta Opera and Chakwa Opera and the Savannah and New York City Opera. And also a music director of Opera in Williamsburg in Virginia.
Wow.
And yes, I was here in Orlando, and I had a great time with the cast and the staff and our friends of the opera. And I would like to say thank you and hello to my friend Svanche, which was my host, and I had a great time staying at her beautiful home.
Svancha and Mitch Levin. We hope that they're watching, and if not, we'll make sure we send them this video and send them your love. Well, we enjoyed having you, and we actually put together a little montage of some highlights from Tales of Hoffmann. What do you think? Should we watch that with everybody?
Let's see it. Wonderful.
All right, here we go.
Il fallait mal flotter le pont de sa frappe, les deux ponts de son frac. Comme les herbes dans un lac, le monstre faisait flic-flac, flic-flac, flic-flac. Voilà, Claïsat. Flic-flac, 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 flic-flac. Voilà,
Wow, what a cast we had for that. Of course, Wan Wee Choi as our Hoffman, who recently made his Metropolitan Opera principal artist debut. I believe it's in Traviata. Right, Jorge? Did you hear about that?
He did Alfredo in Traviata, and it went really well, and they asked him to go back right away next season. So it's wonderful to see him working so well.
We were so fortunate to have him here. And then, of course, Laura Leon as the four heroines, Dennis Jesse as the four villains, Kim Sogioka, who was singing Niklaus, and we'll hear a clip later for also singing Antonia's mother, and directed by our good friend Eve Summer. Eve, we hope you're watching. I hope they're all watching with us, that they're all safe out there. Well, Jorge, that was so fun to have you for Tales of Hoffman. Let's get back to Die Fledermaus though for a second. Tell us what does the word Fledermaus even mean? What is that all about?
Fledermaus is the bat, the animal. But it's not an opera about Batman. It's a different bat. It's the story is about the revenge of a friend, Falke, that he's going to plan on his friend Eisenstein, because Eisenstein left Falke hanging, literally hanging on a tree, dressed as a bat after a wild party. So Falke wants to get back at him, and he decided to organize a costume party in which everyone is in costume.
Right.
And he convinced his friends Eisenstein to seduce his own wife without knowing that it is his wife. So let's see what happened when everyone takes the mask off.
It's a hilarious show, and I tell you, if I had a nickel for every time I accidentally seduced my own wife, I tell you, it it happens all the time. Happens all the time. But it sounds like a great opera, and it's one of perhaps the best operettas out there. And yeah, and
I heard that we are setting it up in Florida, late 1800s. So it's very glamorous, I think.
yeah, we'll have some local references, setting the piece during its traditional time period, but setting it in Orlando. So perhaps some orange groves by Dr. Phillips, or maybe Walt Disney was just a young boy at that time. But yeah, it's going to be a really fun show. We're excited to have you back for that. And it'll be at Walt Disney Theater, the larger venue at Dr. Phillips Center, to help us celebrate our 5th anniversary. And to also celebrate, we've put together a wonderful cast, starring soprano Abigail Rethwich, who will be singing the role of Rosalinda. Some Grammy Award-winning baritone named Gabriel Preisser will be playing Eisenstein. Still not sure who that is. And then the wonderful soprano Cree Carrico will be joining us to sing Adele. Have you worked with Cree before, Jorge? Have you guys worked together?
Yes, Cree did her master's at Manhattan School of Music.
Okay.
And they are last time, so I'm very excited to do our first show in the professional world for her. So it's really, really exciting.
She's a dynamite Adele. We had the great pleasure of doing Fledermaus over at Opera Tampa last season. So we're excited to bring her over. And then we mentioned Sarah Norden, who our audiences have seen before. She was Rosina in Barbara Seville for us at Casa Feliz last season. She'll be doing Orlovsky, joined by her husband, Tyler Putnam, singing the role of Frank, or should I say Frank, because we'll be doing it in English, right, Maestro?
Exactly. So we're doing a new translation by the artistic director of Opera Orlando, which is Grant Preisser.
No relation. Never heard of the guy.
No, but it's a brand new translation just for the company. As we said, setting up in the story in Orlando and Florida of late 1800s.
So because of that, it'll be sung in English. The dialogue will be in English. That's right. There is dialogue. You know, given that it's an operetta, it's almost more like a musical. And so even more fitting for us to do it in the big Broadway theater, the Walt Disney Theater. Well, we are very excited about it. And, there's somebody...
What else?
Sounds like somebody's crashing our party here, Jorge. They trying to get online with us. I don't know who that is. Let me see who that could be. Yeah. Is anybody there? Who could it be? They keep ringing the doorbell, but maybe they need to unmute themselves so we can hear them.
Hey.
Oh my gosh. Cree Carrico, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. And you look like you're in costume and holding, is that champagne or wine? What is that?
It's seltzer water, but it's disguised as champagne.
Wonderful. Well, a very good disguise, Mr. Stelter. Well, how did you even do that? How did you crash our Google Hangout? I don't know. But here you are, nonetheless, and you look fabulous, Cree.
Well, thanks, Gabe. I was just watching the live stream, and you were saying all these nice things about me, and I just had to call in. So, much like Adele in Deflator Mouse, I borrowed my grandmother's best dress.
Oh
I
my
crashed
gosh.
your party.
Well, exactly. I mean, this is very much straight out of Deflator Mouse, and we're excited to have you singing Adele in our production next October and November. Well, tell us, Cree, where are you? How are you, especially during these crazy times?
You know, I'm doing well. I am here in Detroit, Michigan, which is where I'm from, with my mom. So we've been doing lots of mom-daughter bonding. We've done each other's nails, and we binged Tiger King and made Reese's eggs. And I've been working on my push-up, and I'm working towards getting my personal training certification.
My goodness, that's a lot better than I'm doing. My only push up is pushing my kids up out of their beds in the morning. So good for you, Cree.
I don't have kids, you know. I have to find other ways to occupy myself.
Well, yeah, kids are a joy, but it's gosh, I have a whole new appreciation for teachers and education. Having to wear the hat of homeschool teacher for my two little ones. Well, I'm looking here. We have some people that are big fans of yours. And one of them just sent me a video of you that they found on the interwebs. I don't know if you've heard of this thing, the interwebs. They have this place called the YouTube. And they have sent me a video of you singing Fever.
Oh.
No, that can't be right. Opera singers don't sing that type of stuff, right? You don't do other types of music, do you, Cree?
I do all sorts of things. I'm a jack of all trades. Maybe master of none, master of some. I'm not quite sure.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to put you on the spot, and we're going to play this video for our audience. What do you think?
Sounds good to me.
All right, let's see it.
1, 2, 3.
Never know how much I love you. Never know how much I care. When you put your arms around me, I get a fever that's so hard to bear. You give me fever when you kiss me, fever when you hold me tight, fever in the morning, a fever all through the night. Sun lights up the daytime, moon lights up the night. I light up when you call my name, 'cause I know I'm gonna treat you right. You give me fever when you kiss me, fever when you hold me tight, fever in the morning, a fever all through the night. Captain Smith and Pocahontas had a very mad affair. When her daddy tried to kill him, she said, "Daddy, oh, don't you dare." He gives me fever with his kisses, fever when he holds me tight, fever. I'm his missus, Dad, you better treat him right. Now you've listened to my story. Here's the point that I have made. Chicks were born to give you fever, be it Fahrenheit or centigrade. They give you fever when they kiss you, fever if you live and learn. A fever, do you sizzle? What a lovely way to burn. What a lovely way to burn. What a lovely way to burn. What a lovely way to
Wow, I tell you, I think I have a fever, and the only remedy is more cowbell.
Right now. Don't have a fever right now.
Exactly, I think that goes in the... think that goes in the failed joke category, Cree. Well, that was stunning. I know our audience is even more excited to have you here in Orlando. And it's so ironic because just a few weeks ago, you and I were going to open Pirates of Penzance over at Opera Tampa. And unfortunately, they had to cancel the day of opening night because of the coronavirus. But those were fun times in Opera Tampa. And the season before, of course, we did Die Fledermaus. We have some images from that production of Die Fledermaus. Yeah. I'm going to pop one up there for us. There you are. There you are on the right, looking stunning. Now, who is that ugly-looking fellow in the middle there? Who's that?
I don't know. He's looking rough.
He's looking rough. Gosh, they gotta get better casting over in Tampa, I must say. We got another picture of you backstage with the incomparable Don Rivard, getting your hairs and your makeups on. I love Don. Shout out to Don. I hope you're watching, Don. And wait, is that Sarah Norden as Orlovsky?
It is Sarah Norden as Orlovsky. I'm not sure I know a better Orlovsky.
Well, that is true. And she sure gets around. That's Sarah. I tell you what. All right, we got one other image here. Oh, wow. What in the world is happening here, Cree, in this image?
Not quite sure. I think maybe that strange looking guy is stinky or something.
There is some truth to that. No question. No question about that.
I really don't know what's happening in that photo.
Yeah. Well, I know we're excited to have you here in Orlando. It's going to be a fun production. Maybe we can recreate the butt perfume pose. We'll have to check with the director about that. Now, we want to have a question and answer section here for our audience, see if there's any questions out there. I know we had one early on. I'm going to check here on this nifty device here. Gosh, we got lots of people watching us today. Thank you all so much for joining us. I see Ann Fox on there. Jim Chillo. Hey, Jim. How you doing? Thanks for tuning in. I think that's Jamie, actually, my Uncle Jamie. Dennis Ooze, one of our past music directors. We love Dennis. How are you, Dennis? And Georgie Eberhardt, one of our hair and makeup folks. One of the questions is, will we be doing Fledermaus in English or in German? We talked about this before. We will be doing it in English, just to make it a little more accessible for our audiences, a little more relevant, and also to fit in with our theme of setting it in Orlando during the late 1800s. Good. We got another question here for Maestro Parodi. The question is, Maestro, what is your favorite part of Die Fledermaus? I'm going to slide back over to you.
Definitely the Act 2 finale, when we have a wonderful group and the whole cast is wrapping up the party, and we have the very famous waltz. You know, Fledermaus is known for its waltz. Strauss is the king of waltz.
Yeah.
And the most famous waltz is happening at that moment in the show, and everyone is dancing and partying, and we want the audience also to be partying with us.
Is that the da 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 dum bum bum? Is that moment? Ah, that one. Yep.
Yes.
I just wanted to force you to sing on air, Jorge. So my dream has come true. That's beautiful.
Thank you. I just do it to show you what I would like to hear.
Hopefully the Orlando Philharmonic is listening, as they'll be our orchestra, and they can already start taking their tempi from you and their stylistic markings from you, Maestro. What about you, Cree? What is your favorite part of Die Fledermaus?
Oh gosh, Die Fledermaus is so good. It's one of my favorites. But I think my personal favorite is my own aria, the audition aria. Because I so identify with it. Adele is just waiting for her big break, her big moment to show off and get a chance on the stage. And I kind of feel like that's how I am right now. I'm stuck at home and I'm just waiting to get back on the stage. I would do anything to be back there.
It is somewhat autobiographical for all of our artists, that audition aria. We would do anything, right? To get that next gig. Well, thank you all so much. I don't think we have any other questions, but hey, Wan Wee Choi is watching. Hey, Wan Wee, we have some more clips of you coming up. And also Eve Summer says, hi, friends. Hey, Eve. Hey, back to you. We miss you. Hope you all are doing well and you're safe out there. Well, I think we're going to let our friends Jorge and Cree go. Guys, any last words before we say goodbye?
Stay safe. Enjoy the time at home, which is very unusual. And Let's have a good summer, and hopefully we'll see you at the end of this.
For sure.
I echo Jorge. Stay home so that you can see us in October. Keep social distancing, keep up your good work, and we'll be here to entertain you when it's all over.
We'll have a lot to celebrate once we're all past this coronavirus pandemic. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Take care. Be safe. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Well, at this part of our show, we want to talk about what's going on online in the arts. Our friends over at the Metropolitan Opera are continuing their nightly online streaming of free productions, past productions from the Metropolitan Opera. You really can't beat that. Tonight is Madama Butterfly by Puccini, of course, with Patricia Racette in the title role, Marcello Giordani, and Dwayne Croft, conducted by Patrick Summers. Tomorrow night, the rarely seen Adriana Lecouvreur with Anna Netrebko. We also have an online concert that our youth company is putting on, so make sure you save the date for that. That will be Friday, May 29th at 12 p.m. right here on our Facebook channel. It's going to serve as a fundraiser for our partner Orlando Health that is leading the charge. They are on the front lines here in Orlando during this pandemic. Please consider donating supplies or donating in other ways to Orlando Health. And really our hearts, our thoughts are with all of those impacted by this pandemic, especially those in our local community, those healthcare providers that are leading the charge. So thank you, Orlando Health, for everything that you do. Now, we hope to see you all again next week, as we will have guests from our upcoming production of Hansel and Gretel joining us here live. To close out today, we wanted to share a big chunk of Act 3 from the Tales of Hoffmann, conducted by Jorge Parodi, who we just spoke with. This was produced back in 2018 in the Alexis and Jim Pugh Theater, featuring baritone Dennis Jesse as Dr. Miracle in this scene, baritone Thomas Potter as Crespel, Kim Sogioka as Antonia's mother and Niklaus, Laura Leon as Antonia, and tenor Wanwi Choi as Hoffmann. Now, there are super titles, so hopefully you can follow the action a little bit if you can see the super titles. They're kind of in the distance. But I wanted to set the stage here for you. Act 3 in our production was the act in Antonia's house. Her father is Crespel, who is kind of heartbroken that his daughter has the same weakness that her mother had, which eventually killed her mother. And she has a weak heart, is really what her ailment is. And the father is nervous that if she continues to sing, which is her passion, she loves to sing, that it will hurt her heart to the point of dying. Dr. Miracle just shows up. He's kind of a crazy guy like that. And he says, I know a way that I can save your daughter. This makes Crespel nervous because Dr. Miracle is the same guy that worked on his wife, and that did not work out so well. Nonetheless, they sing this beautiful trio with Hoffmann peeking around the corner. And kind of we fast forward in the act, and Dr. Miracle has convinced Antonia that if she sings, it will invite back the ghost of her mother and bring her back to life. Well, Antonia has to sing at that point. She sings her little heart out, and sure enough, Antonia's mother appears. Maybe it's real, maybe it's all in her head. We don't know that for sure. But let me just say, the end of the act does not end well for Antonia. And really, the whole show doesn't end well for Mr. Hoffmann. Nonetheless, we hope you enjoyed the fabulous music of Jacques Offenbach with members of the Orlando Philharmonic Orchestra under the baton of Jorge Parodi. Here is Act 3 of Opera Orlando's Tales of Hoffmann.
lui de retour. C'est une chanson d'amour, une chanson d'amour. Qui s'envole, triste vole.
Ma fille, parle-moi, ma fille, parle donc, mon exécrable, non, pitié, pitié, grâce, éloigne de toi, ma fille. Oh, ma misérable, c'est toi qui l'as tué. Du sang, coulé ce jour, une âme, un couteau. Vita, donne l'alarme, et verità.
Thank you for joining us today, and join us again next week with members of the cast of Hansel and Gretel, Torleif Borstein and Cass Panuska. Stay safe, hang in there, and see you online at the opera.
Treat of children's meat. With 5 and 6, the witch will mix. With 7 and 8, you lick your plate. And 9 is 1, and 10 is none. So much is nil, by witches will.